The helmeted African turtle, also known as the marsh turtle, crocodile turtle, or the side-necked African turtle, is an omnivorous terrapin species in the Pelomedusidae family. This species occurs naturally in fresh and stagnant waters throughout much of sub-Saharan Africa and southern Yemen. The African side turtle is popular as a pet because of its unusual behavior in which it tilts its head. Side-neck turtles are a suborder of turtles, numbering about 50 species. Side-neck turtles differ from other turtles primarily in the structure of the neck. The vertebrae of the cervical spine have very long transverse processes to which are attached strong muscles that flex the neck in the horizontal plane. When pulled inside the carapace, the neck does not bend vertically, as in latent cervical turtles, but turns and is laid sideways under the carapace so that the head is pressed against the base of the left or right forelimb. In the internal structure, the main difference between side-neck turtles is the fusion of the pelvic bones with the dorsal and abdominal shields. From external signs, it can also be noted that the plastron is covered with 13 cornea scutes, the unpaired throat scutellum is always clearly visible. The turtle is unpretentious to the conditions of detention in captivity. She is in good health and rarely gets sick, but has an obstinate character. With insufficient respect for its persona, a freedom-loving reptile can inflict painful bites on an inexperienced owner. The meat of the helmeted Pelomedusa is eaten in many regions of Africa. Blood is used in local medicine to make various medicines. The species was first described in 1788 by the French zoologist Bernard Germain Etienne de la Ville, Comte de Lacept. Behavior. Reptiles inhabit mainly stagnant and temporary water bodies. They settle in slow-flowing rivers, lakes, swamps or rain puddles. During the rainy season, turtles can travel considerable distances. In drought, they burrow into the muddy bottom to a depth of more than 5 centimeters and hibernate until the first downpours. African Pelomedusa are semi-aquatic. They are absent in forests, mountainous and desert areas. Reptiles are active in the evening and at night. During the rainy season, they are active during daylight hours. Food. The diet consists of food of animal origin. The helmet jellyfish feeds on worms, small fish, frogs, insects, and snails. When large ungulate mammals take mud baths, they often cleanse their skin of parasites. Housing the African side-neck turtle. Your turtle should be able to swim and dive in its aquarium, so the larger it is, the better. Ideally, you should have at least a 75-gallon aquarium that is half to 3/4 full of water. Also, provide a dry land area using a floating dock or large rocks so your turtle can climb out of the water to dry off. Use a secure metal mesh screen lid to keep your turtle safe, especially if you have other pets. Moreover, invest in a quality water filter. Aquatic turtles defecate in the water, and without a filter, you'll have to do weekly water changes. Some people prefer canister filters, while others like the smaller submersible filters. For a large tank, a quality canister filter is typically your best option. In addition to keeping the water clean, you should dechlorinate the water by either letting it sit out for 24 hours before adding it to the tank or by adding a dechlorinating solution. A recommended pH of 6.5, a fairly neutral pH, should be maintained and can be easily checked with water test strips from the pet store. Heat. African side-necks require supplemental heat from a heat lamp to maintain their body temperature. Heat lamps vary in wattage and should maintain an ambient temperature of around 80 degrees Fahrenheit with a basking temperature of around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature should never drop below 70 degrees Fahrenheit, even at night when the basking light gets turned off. Light. African sidenecks also need UV lighting to properly metabolize calcium. Keep a UV-emitting lamp on the tank for around 12 hours per day to maintain a normal day-night cycle. These lights typically need to be around 10 to 12 inches away from where your turtle sits outside of the water. And the bulbs usually need to be replaced every 6 to 9 months. Follow the manufacturer's instructions on your specific bulb. Substrate. Substrate is the material that lines the bottom of your turtle's aquarium. It can help to mimic the look and feel of the animal's natural environment. A substrate isn't essential, and it will collect food and waste, requiring regular cleaning. But if you wish to use a substrate, many owners opt for sand, large pebbles, or gravel. Reproduction. Under favorable conditions, the African Pelomedusa reproduces all year round. In most of the range, the mating season takes place in the spring. At this time, males pursue females, nodding their heads and vigorously sniffing at their tail area. If the ladies do not notice such an exquisite courtship, the gentlemen often begin to snap their hind legs and tail. Mating takes place in water. The male climbs from behind on the female's shell and clings to it with its claws. During mating, the turtles stretch their heads and necks forward, and the male secretes water from the nostrils. At the beginning of summer, the female independently digs a hole 10 to 18 centimeters deep in soft soil. She lays 10 to 30 elliptical eggs in it and sprinkles the clutch on top with earth or sand. Incubation lasts from 75 to 95 days depending on the ambient temperature. The body length of hatched turtles is 25 to 35 millimeters. They are painted in various shades from olive to black. The first days they feed on the contents of the yolk sac and then move on to small animals. How to keep. Representatives of this species are very mobile, therefore it is recommended to keep them in large aquatoriums 130 to 150 centimeters long and 65 to 75 centimeters wide. The minimum water level is 30 to 40 centimeters. About a third of the area of the aquatorium should be occupied by land. It is filled with wet sand or earth for the turtle to bury in during the dry season. Before its onset, the water level is gradually lowered, simulating natural habitat conditions. After its completion, the water level is increased. Its temperature is maintained within 22 to 35 degrees Celsius. Be sure to use a water filter. It should be designed for an amount of water 1.5 times the amount used. Incandescent lamps and ultraviolet light sources are used for lighting. Pets are fed earthworms, fish, pieces of lean poultry, land and water snails. It is necessary to periodically add trace elements and vitamins for reptiles to the feed. Description. The body length of mature individuals is 17 to 25 centimeters. The record was 32.5 centimeters. The weight ranges from 1800 to 2500 grams. Males have longer and thinner tails. In females, the carapace is visually slightly wider. The carapace is colored black, dark gray, dark brown or brown. The upper side of the tail and limbs are grayish brown, while the lower parts are yellowish. Plastron is solid and dark in the center. Its edges are yellow. The 5-toed paws are armed with claws. The lifespan of the African Pelomedusa in the wild is 20 to 30 years. Choosing your African sideneck turtle. Visit a reputable breeder or rescue organization to acquire an African sideneck turtle. The seller should be able to tell you about the turtle's origin and health. Young turtles often cost between $50 and $100. When selecting your turtle, look for any signs of illness, such as flakiness on the shell, difficulty breathing, lethargy, or a lack of appetite.